Looking good, looking good. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bring that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode. Actually, no, first episode. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, but this is NERDSoul Sports. Thank you guys for rolling through. This is our first time ever rocking with this, rocking like this. So it's a lot of fun. I ain't going front. I'm gonna be excited to see how this turns out. We got cool panel guests coming through from week to week, so it'll be fun, but I'm not by myself. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep. We going straight out to space. For the homie, if you watch Beats Vibes Live, you can see him right here. That's right, Parker P.L. Lewis. What's up?
What's good, y'all? Parker P.L. Lewis here, Lewiz. That's .com and on all streaming sites and all social medias. Let's get it. Let's talk this sports, man.
All right, word. And shout out to the chat super early, Markeith Collins, Boogsworthy. Big shout out to anyone who came over from other shows. This is our first time doing this. We usually talk sports every now and then with like Keith from Blurdish is on or something like that. So I was like, yo, in the new year, I can start this experiment to do a brand new show, expand out a little bit. I know my boy Parker P.L. Lewis. He be watching sports. He be liking to get into it. So we just go barbershop it up.
Just a little bit.
So we gonna barbershop it up and chill. With that said, going to hit the thumbs up. Thank you to all the Patreon supporters and all that good stuff. And let's get into some topics. Do you want to? What do you want to talk about first? What do you want to get into first? Because we got a couple of content to get into. You know what I'm saying? For a short bit.
Let's start heavy and end light.
Okay.
I want to talk, since we were talking about that pre-show, let's go ahead and talk about Reggie Bush and his statement. Let's start there.
Yeah, so Reggie Bush had a IG Live, it was an IG Live, and then just saying the stories or whatever. And he was talking about how hard it is for him to just even be mobile on like a basic level these days. Talking about how like sometimes he needs help to get into the bathroom, you know, his back having problems, his legs having problems, things of that nature due to how tough football can be on your body. And then like, you know, talking about how sometimes he was hitting people that was too big for him to be hitting, stuff like that. And it really went to show that folks that you might think are, you know, doing well. Like, because when I see Reggie Bush, because of course, you know, this is when he's all, you know, suited up and everything. But I'm like, oh, cool, good. He's in great shape, doing his thing, living his best life in retirement. And then you realize, no, there are so many detrimental post, you know, career injuries that you ain't getting a dollar for. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of goes back to what I said about players in general that are kind of like rushing to get back to the game. I'm like, I know you love the game, but if you get re-injured real quick and they drop you from the team, ain't nobody coming to your house to give you a thank you card. Ain't nobody going to stop by. They'll be like, oh, remember when? And that'll be it.
It's crazy that in the sport with the greatest chance of death on any particular play, NFL contracts are not guaranteed. So you can get hurt tomorrow. You can get hurt today and be at home chilling tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they'll be that's business.
Yeah, it is.
There's another dude waiting to fill your spot. It's business.
Yeah, and they'll be like, look, you know, nice to see you. They ain't sending no edible arrangement. They ain't sending no card, no flower, no nothing. And you know, he said, you know, you got to get your money while you there. You know what I'm saying? So all these people that are so mad about players want to get traded or want to go somewhere else, it's like, yo, this is a health hazard. I mean, and I know football is the most extreme version, but I mean, shoot, you tear your ACL quick on the court. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, we've seen people take wild hits from like baseballs and stuff like that. It's like stuff can happen.
Yeah.
And look, they will send your butt home, and you'll be like, oh man, You know what I'm saying? I stayed in this city because I didn't want people mad because I wanted a max contract. No, get your money, regardless of the position or whatever.
Of it.
Because when it's over, you ain't getting no retirement. There ain't no NFL retirement plan out there.
There is, but
there is. Sorry,
there actually is, but it ain't what it should be.
Yeah, it literally is one, but it's not like you know. Trust me, you ain't living.
It's like put it like this, right? It's like they'll give you like an actual health plan, right? They'll give you like an HMO. They'll give you that, right? But you have to remember what is covered for a regular person like me and you. Mm-hmm. Kaiser ain't covering no anterior crucial ligament damage that you had from 3 years ago. Kaiser ain't covering that, ma'am. Fam, they're not covering that.
Yo, Kaiser is not. Maybe you could probably, if you could spring for that Cedars-Sinai, you know, medical team. Like we were talking about Dre the other day when he said in that statement, medical team. I'm like, yo, you know, you got money when you got a medical team. Like when you broke, you got a doctor that stops by once a day to be like, how you feeling? You good?
Right.
You right? They look at the chart for a second.
Here's the remote for the TV.
They look at that clipboard for a second. Peace. You see him tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow. Like that's how it is. Unless you got that dope, that crazy expensive insurance, or of course you on a whole other tax bracket with that medical team.
Right. So the objective is to get as much money as possible, man.
Yeah, and
get all of it, man.
Yeah, all of it. Boogsworthy said, can't be mad at NFL players focusing on their own personal brands. Average time in the NFL is 3 to 4 years. So you got
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't having no long career like somebody, say, in basketball or soccer or like tennis or something like that. And not to disparage those sports, but it's like, you know, there's a difference in like the contact in football. So, you know, and then Boogsworthy says the teams and the NFL at large are always engaged in lawsuits dealing with medical issues from former players. And low-key, there's a problem. There's an opioid issue in the NFL as well. Yeah, because sometimes you be wondering, like, how are these guys coming back to the game so fast? I'm like, I don't know what kind of medical service you got or medical insurance you got where you can like
damn the
break your leg.
What drugs y'all giving these men, man? What are y'all giving these people?
They're probably shooting morphine straight into your knee and just like get back out there.
I was watching this interview, right? And they were talking to Terrell Owens. Now, mind you, Terrell Owens basically broke his leg.
Yeah.
In November and played in late January/February in the Super Bowl. How, Sway?
You got the illest, like the illest medical insurance.
What
are y'all doing?
Are they giving these people, fam?
Yo, they be shooting them up with crazy steroids and stuff. It's probably the craziest type of most expensive. And then, of course, when they get retired, they'd be like, here, now go on to Kaiser Permanente.
You ain't getting that Kaiser. If Kaiser got that, it's not covered.
Yeah,
it's not covered under your premium.
Oh, man. So with that, you know what I'm saying, it was dope to get that firsthand account. Much love to Reggie Bush for even opening up to do that, because you know what I'm saying. I know it ain't easy to talk about, like, and similar to what I talk, you know, sort of in our relationship episodes sometimes on Black Together, like, yo, you need to find that person who, I mean, low key is willing to feed you when you can't eat. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, like that, because sometimes marriage will get like that. And he said his wife got to pick him up and put him in the bathtub and stuff when his like back disc fall out or something or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's real, you know what I'm saying? And when you see him out, you're like, oh, Reggie's doing great, and you just never knew. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that because today we're having
dark side of NFL retirement.
Yeah. So what you want to rock with next? What you want to get into next? Because we got Russell
that was
Wilson.
kind of serious. Let's have some jokes. Let's dog Booger out.
Oh man! All right, so
come get these jokes, Booger.
all right, so all right, former Mass Live reports former Patriots tight end Martellus Bennett roasts Booger McFarland for his take on Dwayne Haskins and black athletes. Booger McFarland had only 22.5 sacks in an 8-year NFL career as a defensive tackle. So maybe his excuse is that he simply didn't get close enough to white quarterbacks. Because if he had, he would know that that they can be knuckleheads too. We offer into evidence Ryan Leaf, Todd Marinovich, and Johnny Manziel, just to name a few.
Ryan Leaf. Man,
come on. So, you know, McFarland, who later doubled down on his opinion when he drew flack, lightly thought his black-on-black criticism would have a ring of authenticity. Oh, man. He says, and I quote, this is the double down. They come into this league, they meaning black people, that's us. All right, they come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong things. They come into the league saying not, how can I become a better player? They don't say, how can I become a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here is what they come in saying. How can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get into the game, I don't perform? You want to know how? You want to know why? Because when you get hurt playing a position that you're not supposed to play, and you got your wife carrying you into the bathroom, ain't nobody from the NFL going to send you an orderly or something like that to help you out of the house. That's why.
None. And to that dumb point that he made, you have to think, right? If I'm building my brand as an athlete, that means that means that I would have to be a successful athlete. That means that I would have to be doing things that will be beneficial to my team, my teammates, my organization, and all of that. Like, okay. All right, this is a general take. This is not just Booger, but it applies to Booger at this particular point.
And Booger types.
I extremely detest when people narrow, especially people that have been in that position. Like Booger has been an athlete, especially he's been a black NFL player. He knows all of the stigmas that are attached to black NFL players. And here you go, at every opportunity, let's bash black NFL players. Like, fam, I don't get it.
Yo.
I don't get it.
There's so many pick-me's out there. People want so much attention from white folks for beating down black folks. Like, nah, pick me. I'm a good one. Put me on your network. I'm a good one. I'll do all your dirty work.
I won't cause any problems. I'll go with the flow, boss.
I'll do all the dirty work. Whenever you need a black person to be like, nah, good, blue lives do matter. You gonna need one of them.
But if you look
right
at
now,
the way that sports,
he's working for one of them joints.
But look, like, see, these networks know who's watching, right?
Yeah.
So Booger McFarland's time on television won't last that much longer, unfortunately. I hate to see black men lose their jobs. Yeah. Booger won't be on TV that much longer. I can almost guarantee you that. Look at how it didn't take. It took a while, but once they made that swift decision, he was up out of there. Jason Whitlock.
Oh,
Jason Whitlock.
ESPN
figured out that he was not beneficial to our black audience, and they got rid of him after they gave him the all-black platform and they interrupted. Nobody vetted him. Nobody did their homework, their due diligence, none of that. No, nobody.
I figure when they get these black types, they make the white people in the exec rooms feel comfortable, and they figure, hey, it'll be good to have a dissenting voice to go back and forth. But when someone's just clearly like, it's not even a situation where you have a different opinion.
It's not a rational opinion.
Yeah, it's not even a rational opinion. Then you just kind of gotta bounce. And shouts to Jenna James said Booger gonna go to Fox next, probably if he leaves ESPN.
Nah, because even Whitlock got fired from Fox.
Oh, word.
Even Whitlock got fired from Fox.
Man.
If you're not beneficial to the audience, fam, I don't, as much pick me as you are, you're not helping bring the people in.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you make us feel comfortable, and we're glad that you validate our feelings about your people. But the bottom line is, you're messing up our algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got people tweeting about us, and it's not a good thing. But Booger, this is from us to you. You whack.
Wiggity Booger.
Man, Booger. And your name is Booger. Like, come on, man. Like, change that joint, man. You corny. Like, you corny, and like everybody knows it. You know it. We know it.
Booger need to get picked like some cotton because he talking like a cropper.
Yeah. So, next up, I want this is some good news. No, you know what, we're going to end on the good news. Let's go on. You got a topic. I know. Okay. So I want to end on some good stuff. Yeah. Oh man. So let's get into NFL coaching, hiring practices.
Yes.
And the like. You brought this up, and lately was what kind of like the industry calls Black Monday. And it's a day where people usually find out if the organization is going to part ways with them or they're going to move in a different direction. Me, you got fired, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to move in a different direction. In the NFL for a while, they've been called out for years and years and years for being racist. Like I remember even, what's the dude name? He was on the Buffalo Bills. And he would always talk about how racist the NFL was. Oh man, I'm losing his name now. No, this is like in the 80s. Late 80s. I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Bruce Smith?
I just said Bruce Smith, Daryl Talley.
Yeah, Bruce Smith. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's. And NFL was like, you know what? We're gonna put some things in place where we're gonna hire more Black people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get them in the upper echelons. We got you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem to have worked.
Not at all, man.
I don't know. So I know you brought this up. You know what I'm saying? Where are you at with coach hiring practices right now?
There are a lot of vacancies in the NFL this year, and the top two candidates, the unquestioned top two candidates, are both African American gentlemen, and I'm dying to see where they go. Do they kind of have like a choice of options between them, like where they go, where they choose to go, and who decides to go after these gentlemen? That's one. I want to talk briefly about the LA Chargers situation and the firing of Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn was one of 4 Black coaches in the NFL. There are now only currently 3 Black coaches in the NFL. 2 of them are in the playoffs, by the way, and the other one barely missed the playoffs. So it's not like you can say these gentlemen are not good at what they do. And then the one gentleman that got fired, like I said, was Anthony Lynn, head coach of the LA Chargers. He had about a little better than 500 record over the 4 years that he was the head coach there. They basically gave him nothing.
Wow.
Like as far as talent, like
you know what I'm saying, someone else, other with a 500 record they be about to name a street after him.
I'm not understanding. Like, they finally looked like they were turning the corner. They drafted the franchise quarterback this year. They drafted the franchise defensive player the year before, and it looked like they were gonna going into next year, they were gonna be a team to be reckoned with. And then you look on Twitter and it's like Anthony Lynn's been fired. It's like, what?
It's like, well, why?
What?
It's like, I thought, because I mean, as someone who's in LA, well, we're both in LA, so to that in LA, I don't super follow the Chargers, but I have like tangentially paid attention to like, okay, cool. So they've been pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? They haven't come to LA and just been stinking it up. They've been doing a decent job. I mean, they haven't won every game, but
they're 500 in LA.
I'm not going to front. They're pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? So I think that things seem to be good. Could get better if we roll the dice. And all of a sudden,
to be honest with you, if you were a African-American fan of the LA Chargers, it might be time to start looking for a new team. Hold on, because it gets deep. It's deeper than just that, especially with this organization. Now that you think about it, right? Earlier this season, they had a situation with a black quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor was the starter for the team, and they accidentally injected him where they shouldn't have injected him, and I want to say they pierced an organ or something like that.
Wow.
Messed up this kid. He ain't been right all year.
Wow.
So it's like how they've handled, between how the organization handled that situation, the firing of Anthony Lynn, it's like, fam, I don't see how you could really roll with this team, man. I don't.
And Boogsworthy says the Chargers are a cursed organization. Also says, we know Chargers ownership is straight garbage. And Jenna James said messed up his kidneys / ribs and stuff. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
thank you.
You look at this stuff and you're like, man, I don't know if this is, I mean, I want to say it's, just a coincidence, but sometimes I'll be like, man, look, y'all been doing this stuff way too long. They're like, you messed up his kidneys and stuff. It's like, feel like,
come on, fam.
Feel like you wanted to kind of usher somebody out the way. Which is, speaking of quarterbacks, is why I really wish Cam Newton would have came through this year. But it didn't seem like he really worked out at, in New England. So
I know I'm all right. I am a sports junkie.
Yeah.
I am a sports maniac.
See, I check the highlights.
I'm that guy. I'll watch the highlights. I watch the game, the highlights, and then read the box score. I'm that guy.
All right, cool.
At the end of the day, I'll be like, what happened? I couldn't tell you one weapon that Cam has on the Patriots. One decent option, one decent offensive option on the Patriots. I can't name one. I can't name one.
Like, Marquise Collins said, nah, Washington might want Cam.
Washington? Nah, I don't see that one.
Maybe.
I don't see that one. Not after the Haskins situation. The last thing they want now is a black quarterback. Sad as it is. I'm as messed up as
they're
that
like,
is
nah.
to say, fam.
And Jenna James agreed.
We good on those right now.
Jenna James agreed that there were no weapons.
We'll rather play the dude that had 18 leg surgeries. Nah, give me him.
That's cold, man. All right, so check it. We're going to end out on this one. We wanted to keep it short this week because we started late. I apologize, but I thank y'all for rolling through. of course, because you know what I'm saying, we doing our thing, man. We, you know what I'm saying, we on expansion team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But Russell Wilson, SeattleTimes.com reports, Russell Wilson called the Seahawks garbage time pass to David Moore to earn David Moore a $100,000 bonus.
Shout out to Russell Wilson.
Shout out, because all right, so a quick rundown without reading the whole article. A quick rundown is, in a lot of contracts, there's I guess you could say incentives, perks, stuff like
bonus
that.
Clauses.
Bonus clauses.
Incentive clauses.
So like in this case, it's like, hey, if you run for this far, if you run for X amount of yards, we'll give you this. If you catch this many passes, we'll give you this. If you throw this many touchdowns, we'll give you this. Or defensive side, like if you get this many interceptions, or you did, you know what I'm saying? And it's a way to try to, you know, get people to play a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying, put a little money behind it, you know what I'm saying? And the problem, unfortunately, in many cases when it comes to black players, the problem is when you get close to that incentive, somehow you get taken out, you're subbed out, or you're not starting today, or we want to
rescue you. Or you got attitude issues.
Yeah, you got attitude issues. It's always a weird way. So,
he's a problem in the locker room all of a sudden.
Yo, they'll do that to you. They'll be like, yo, it'll be all good. Like, you'll be at your job, and they'll be like, yo, if you do like 20 of these, we gonna give you X amount of dollars. And you like, word. And you check it, and you like, yo, I'm at like 18. Cool. I need 2 more. All of a sudden, we need to speak to you in the office. Now all of a sudden, we want to suspend you for a couple of days. We've heard rumblings. We've gotten reports and complaints.
We've heard inklings.
We heard reports and complaints. From who? We can't get into that.
We can't tell you. That would be against company policy.
That would be against company policy. What we're going to do is let them slander you and hold you, even though it ain't come from nobody. But if it did, we're going to let them slander you, and you ain't going to get to rebuttal or nothing. We're just going to say, we want you to stay home for a few days. Really what it is you got 2 more, and then we got to pay up 5, 10, 15K, whatever. Right. So in this case, it's $100,000. And it was only like a few more passes he had to catch, like 2 or 3. So Russell Wilson was like, my dude, I got you. You know what I'm saying? He hit him with a few of them short joints. You know, if you play Madden, the little quick outs, he ran him some quick. he ran some quick out plays, and he got him that bonus. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson, I know a lot of y'all clown him, but Russell Wilson, that dude.
The bonus, the organization was like, all right, since you did that, we gonna take his bonus out of that $100 and something million gazillion dollar contract we just gave you. You got it. You cut him the check for that $100,000, Russell.
Yo, man, that joint is, and you know that's probably how they did it too. But it was good to see. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see that.
It really was.
You know, it was good to see some unity. You know what I'm saying? Brothers helping brothers.
Same thing happened this year. Tom Brady and Antonio Brown in their last game of the season, they were up big. They started dumping passes to Antonio Brown. I think he made an extra like $250K in the last game because of that. Shout out to Tom Brady.
Shout out to Tom Brady and Antonio Brown, who just God bless you.
Man, get your money, man, because you're going to need all of it.
You're going to need all of it. I hope you take that bonus and just put it in the market and let it sit there, because you be playing with fire. Look,
all the time.
Mr. Brown, you be playing with fire. You be acting like, I don't need the league. I don't need it.
Okay. You better be lucky Tom Brady is your friend, fam.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know what you did for that man.
Yo, he maybe like, you know, Tom Brady took somebody out, he hit the blocker for him, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Man, Antonio did something. Because Tom Brady put his whole neck on the line for that man.
But
Shout out to Tom Brady, man.
Booksworthy says Russ is a true bro. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know what I'm saying, y'all been up in his face about Sierra. You've been up in his face about kids and stuff. Up in his face about raising people's kids the right way. You know what I'm saying? Giving them good lives. You know what I'm saying? Russell loves black people. You know what I'm saying? With that said, that's the end of our show.
Russ love the kids. Russ love the kids.
So
Russ love the kids.
With that said, man, right over here, the homie Parker P.L. Lewiz, say peace.
Peace. Shout out to everybody in the chat that came through and rocked with us for the first episode. Parker P.L. Lewiz, Lewiz on all streaming platforms, all social media, and .com. If you got 5 minutes, check your boy out, man. And we got some more stuff coming on the NERDSoul sports thing coming, man. Stay tuned.
Yo, believe that. NERDSoul Sports, hit that thumbs up. Going and share this to your folks. We chopping it up on sports here. We getting into it. We having a good time. Chopping up barbershop style. We just kicking it. So with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Look at this guy. He came through. Came through at the end. You know how people come through at the end when all the hard work is done.
Where's Arckatron?
Where's Arcatron? Oh, he's not on this. He's not on this one. I'm sorry.
Where's Arcatron?
But he's not here this time.
Where's Arcatron?
He's at home. I don't know where he is.
Where's Highsign?
Highsign, he's at home too. But that's Parker P.L. Lewiz. You? Yes. So, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. That's right. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send the charges after you. And it's not going to work out for you, apparently, if you black. So, with that said, podcast, if you want to listen, just search NERDSoul and Spotify for that music. Do not sleep on your boy. With that said, we're going to leave y'all with ARC. He's at home. He's at home too. So, ARCKATRON.com, Space Bridge in stores, tons of dope stuff. Oh yeah, you gotta check it out. Yeah, check it out. So, with that said, we're gonna leave y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Thomas D, Marquis Collins, Jenna James, Books Worthy. I think Alan Lewis was in. No, he was in the other stream. Look, if I missed your name, I apologize, but much love. And from us to you, we're saying thanks for watching and peace.
And a woo for you.
Give him a woo for you. Give him a woo.
Woo.
Yeah. We out, y'all. Peace.